check, good. So I'm Max Duran, CWB Association Welding podcast. Today we have a really cool guest, Welding podcast.
The show is about to begin.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of the CWB Association podcast. My name is Max Duran, and we are here at Skills Canada's Competencies in Quebec City doing amazing work with our fantastic partner Skills Canada. And today we have the fantastic Dr. Patrick Rouble. How are you doing today?
Excellent, Max. We've got a great start to Skills Compétences Canada's national competition here in beautiful Quebec City. The competitors have started. They're working on their projects. It's amazing to see the focus, the intensity, and it's great to see so many kids coming in here and being exposed to all this.
Well, I heard numbers like 5,000 or 6,000 kids coming through over the next couple of days.
We've got over 500 competitors here from across Canada. Mm-hmm. So that's from coast to coast to coast, every province and territory, and we're expecting over 6,000 kids from local schools here in Quebec City.
And you know, I don't know what's more impactful, the amazing competitors that are doing the things, the kids that are coming through to see it and witness it and get inspired, or the trainers and supporters. And I mean, there's so many tiers.
It's all of the above. I mean, the big thing about Skills Compétences Canada is that we want to work to make young Canadians and their communities aware of meaningful and rewarding careers in trades and technology, especially welding. Mm-hmm. Especially welding. And we're right in front of the welding area here. So if you hear any grinders, it's because we are here. It's for real.
Well,
it's for real. We can see the sparks, we can hear the grinding, and we can smell the metal being cut. And it's that immersive nature of thing that makes it so great. We've got 13 member organizations in every province and territory. They're the ones that do all the heavy lifting. Yeah. They're the ones that go into the schools. They work with the skills clubs. They work with the after schools clubs. They work with the summer camps. They, get the word out in their communities. And then they hold regional or provincial or territorial competitions, bring those kids together, give them a project, get them focused. Those kids are working on things. Their teachers are working on the projects. Teachers might be opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
And with young populations across the north, especially young populations in our indigenous communities, we've got a responsibility there to, give people a future, show them the path. I think it was Metallica that said, "How can I be lost if I've got no place to go?"
Yeah.
Part of our job is to give people a place to go, a hope for the future, a vision for the future. And, they can see that here. When you walk around the competition areas here, every kid here can see themselves reflected in the competitors on the go. Whether that's the folks down, and I love this, we've got bricklaying and mortar work on one side, and we've got IT networking professionals across the hall.
Yeah.
Traditional bricks and mortar and the modern day technology infrastructure side by side.
And with this, with all the support that's going on here and all the people working together, at the end of the day, we say it's a competition. When I was talking to the welding students this morning, getting them pumped for the day, kind of reminding them of what the mission is, you kind of forget it's a competition. It's more like we're all working together to see who can be the best.
Yeah, we're celebrating excellence.
Yes.
And competition, that's part of how our economy works. It's how do we push to be better? How do we improve? And how do we come up with that authentic assessment to show who is one of the best? But it's all about improving, making those incremental changes. And I mean, the participants, some teens, lots of 20s, they're showing off their skills. They're improving. They're all learning something. Heck, I talked to one fellow in the sheet metal area today. He's been doing this for 30 years.
Skills?
Or working in the trade.
Yeah, okay.
And he said he learned something new every year.
That's true. It is.
So, I mean, that's pretty neat. So
Yeah.
we've got the technical folks, the instructors, the industry folks learning new things, and the students learning things.
Yeah.
And then the participants learning things. I mean,
It's everything.
For somebody with a background in education, it's a pretty exciting event.
It is. And this is an exciting year. We got Team Canada here representing. I was able to go to Kazan, Russia, 2019 with my, at the time, competitor. I was a welder instructor back then. And I got to see the world stage of what skills is and how we fit in that puzzle as Canada. And we're no joke. We're no joke. We go out there to win, and for the amount of, I would say, in some ways we're kind of behind the competition of some other countries. We represent very well. And I found that our place in the global community is also very important to kind of niche out.
Sure. Yesterday at the opening ceremonies, one of the MCs was Elma Kilgore, and she won third place in baking and patisserie at the Worlds 2 years ago. When you go to Switzerland and compete in baking and patisserie and make
which is the capital of baking,
and the capital of that, and then you got the French team and the Swiss team and the whole bit, and she was third.
Yeah,
I mean she's a champion.
That is.
I mean, that's pretty cool. And now here, like over in the industrial mechanics section, which is a pretty cool. And improve.
That's
and
right.
We'll see where we can, up our game. And the only way we do that is by comparing ourselves with others.
Yeah, and there's differences in investments and education systems, and it's good to see how that pans out, right?
Yeah, and it would be great to see how some things might pan out in Toronto a couple years down the road. There might be an opportunity for the world to see more of Canada.
That would be
for
great.
Canadians to see more folks from around the world. We've got 84 different countries in World Skills now. It'd be great to invite those different countries to come to Canada and celebrate skills.
Well, and we can show off. Like I remember in Kazan seeing the welding team from Ghana, and it's a couple kids who had very little access to resources, but they had no intention on placing anywhere in a winner's circle or nothing. But to them, every minute there was a win, right? Every minute there is a win. And for us to showcase Canada like that, I think would be amazing to do to the world.
Well, and it's a reminder, too, that many of the skills that we have on display here and that we're focused on, well, they're transferable around the world. If you're going to make a profiterole here in Canada, it's the same as making a profiterole in Switzerland or in Ghana. The Volvo tractor that people are working on here is the same Volvo tractor that they're working on in
Germany, wherever, yeah.
Germany, wherever.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many of these things that, you know, the skills that they're learning, the building things, making things, fixing things, it's transferable around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So let's invite the world in and learn from them and show off what Canada has.
That's fantastic. I'd like to jump the fence real quick here because you talked about, you know, how you were in education. You're a former minister with the government in the Yukon. You've been kind of in the sphere of the public sector. You know, why skills? Why get involved? You know, from your point of view, stepping in now as chair of the board of directors, what is it that brought you in to be a part of this world, this team?
So I got lucky in 2009 when Calgary hosted the World Skills Competition. I was invited there and had a chance to see it firsthand. Mm-hmm. And once you get in here and you see the sparks fly, you hear the grinding going on, you smell the cutting oil in the air, you see the excitement and enthusiasm of the kids watching, of the competitors, of the NTC, of the industry people, and the sponsors involved. I don't know.
It's infectious.
I don't know how you don't get infected. You know, I don't. So I saw it. It engaged me when I retired from office a few years ago. I said, how else can I contribute? And this is an organization that, as I said, makes young Canadians and their community aware of meaningful and rewarding careers, sets them up for success, gives them a destination, gives them a goal, gives them a path to get there. And I said, well, how can I get involved and help to make this work?
And in terms of the growth of skills, you know, I've been a part of kind of in and out of skills, either as a mentor or an educator, and now as a sponsor. I've seen the evolution of the skills network, the skills events, you know, the skills for success campaigns, the skills changes life campaign, and the women in the trades campaigns. You know, how important are all these offshoots of the main skills work in developing our future?
Well, I mean, it all goes hand in hand. When we think about a prosperous future, whether it's collectively as a society or individually for a human being, we need those paths to get there. We have a duty and responsibility to prepare young people for meaningful and rewarding careers. We can see, you know, 45 different career starts here. This isn't where their careers are going to end.
This is just step one.
This is just step one.
Yeah.
This is concluding their apprenticeship, entering the workforce, and then seeing where the world takes them. So this is setting people up for success, and it's also reminding us that we have multiple different paths and needs in our community. I mean, can you imagine a community where we didn't have welders?
Well, I don't think there is one.
Well, you can't have
or
one.
without plumbers or electricians or all these amazing things that are part of our everyday social fabric.
You know, if we don't have the industrial mechanics making sure that the power plant is running, if we don't have the heavy equipment technicians making sure that the trucks are running, we don't have the electricians sitting there making sure the lights are on, everything grinds to a halt.
It does.
You know, we can do a lot if the politicians take a break for a month or two, but it's not going to be the same if the plumber takes a break for a month or two.
Well, COVID taught us that lesson. You know, the world came to a halt except for the trades. There was no days off.
There was no days off. They're needed. They're respected. You know, the past stereotypes certainly don't reflect the modern interpretation of a current career in trades and technology. You know, some of the, I don't even want to talk about the stuff from the past, but the path forward is different.
It is.
You know, it's pretty neat and it's pretty bright too.
Yeah. What about the next few years for skills? You know, what's on the horizon? What are we thinking about? Is there new projects? Is there new things that are rolling out even at this, you know, event that people should be aware of, that perhaps it can be involved with or volunteer with?
Sure. There's lots of ways to get involved, whether it's in an occupation or a skill area. We've got a couple features events here today, whether it's empowering women in trades and technology. We've got a great setup, a couple booths over here where young women are sharing their stories, their successes about how they made a difference and how the trades made a difference in their lives. We've got the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit section set up one of the pavilions over where we're seeing some traditional skills and modern interpretations of those.
That's right.
I mean, there's an awful lot that we can learn from our past that's going to help to inform our future too. So lots of ways there. And I, might have hinted that, Canada might be, talking to some folks around the world around the possibility or the potential of inviting the world to come to Canada and celebrate skills.
Yeah. And what about for the educators out there? I always tell people, if as an educator, you have to attend a skills. Like being a part of a national skills competition, even just coming to check it out.
Occupations and people with skills and technological know-how.
Well, and I think that in the new world that we're creating now, that the youth are creating now, there's a few things that they really value: financial stability, not being in debt, having secure work, which I think has shooken up in the last few years, and it has exposed how important these trades are. Not as a, hey, someone's got to do it, but I want to make a career out of this.
Sure. And if you want to take charge and have mobility, develop a career path and a trades path and a technology path. If you want to travel,
absolutely,
any one of these careers presented here will help you to do that. We've touched a bit on the monetary rewards that are out there, because starting wage that these folks are going to attract is a heck of a lot higher than your typical standard wage.
Pensions and benefits and all those things.
Pensions, benefit, different mobility, the security either of an association, the security of having the abilities that are in demand in the marketplace, having the transferability of skills. It really is start here, go anywhere.
That's right.
We've used it as a tagline before of skills change lives, but they do.
They do.
And they provide those paths and opportunities that you're not going to lose. Once you become a welder, you're a welder.
Yeah, I tried walking away twice, unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
And no regrets.
and the path is going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
But heck, I know carpenters that started as, the guy sweeping the floors. Next thing you know, he's cutting boards. Next thing you know, he's in an apprenticeship program. Next thing you know, he's a carpenter out in the job site. A little while later, he's a supervisor. A little while later, he does a couple project management courses. Now he's doing an estimation stuff. Next thing I know, he's doing a distance MBA program. Well, now the guy is running an international engineering company, and he builds stuff on 3 different continents.
Yeah.
But he's still a carpenter.
That's right.
But
and that path, that dream, is not out of reach for anybody.
That's I mean, that's some of the paths that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
The potential, again, one young lady that we worked with a while ago that represented Canada at the Worlds in aircraft maintenance and technology.
Oh, right.
Repair.
I interviewed her last year. Fantastic.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I met her last night. What are you up to? Well, now apparently she's doing wing walking.
Yeah.
And she's buying her own plane.
And she's like 26. 6 or 25 years
You know,
old.
not only does she get to work on fighter jet engines
Yeah.
during her day job, but now she's buying an airplane, and now she's learning about wing walking
Yeah.
and performing. I mean,
That's wild.
that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're a young person, you're thinking about what do I want to be when I grow up, or what do I want to be next. This is a great place to start,
Yeah.
and a great path that will take you places that you don't know.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. It's getting loud here.
I'm getting out on a wing here.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Rouble, for being here with us. I very much appreciate all the work Skills does. I love being part of Skills family. And, is there anything you'd like to say in parting with the audience out there?
Well, Max, thanks very much for the opportunity to talk with you today, to discuss this. The Canadian Welding Bureau does a great job reaching out to schools from coast to coast to coast. I put my day job hat on at Yukon University. I know
We're going to work together on a few things.
we already do work
Yeah.
together on stuff. Not only with the folks in our apprenticeship side of things, in our welding shop, but also in our
camps,
STEM,
yeah.
our summer camp programs, or after school stuff. So the work that you do to promote careers, opportunities in welding, it's great. And I look forward to a long collaboration between the CWB and Skills for years to come.
Awesome. So do I. Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed the show.